President Donald Trump now challenging President Biden to another debate while speaking to a massive rally in Florida.
Let's do another debate this week so that Sleepy Joe Biden can prove to everyone all over the world that he has what it takes to be president. But this time it will be man to man, no moderators, no holds barred. Just name the place, anytime, anywhere.
Mr. Trump's challenge for a moderator-free debate comes as Democrats continue to voice concerns about Biden's re-election chances following his disastrous performance in that first debate. The former president also using the rally at his golf course in Doral near Miami to tease Florida Senator Marco Rubio as a possible running mate, even making reference to speculation that his 2016 primary opponent may be his next vice president. While Mr. Trump was rallying in Florida, Colorado's Michael Bennet became the first Democratic senator to publicly speak out against President Biden's re-election effort.
Donald Trump is on track, I think, to win this election and maybe win it by a landslide and take with him the Senate and the House. And so for me, this isn't a question about polling. It's not a question about politics. It's a moral question about the future of our country. The White House, in the time since that disastrous debate, I think has done nothing to really demonstrate that they have a plan to win this election.
All right, our News Nation's Tom Dempsey is live in Washington, D.C. this morning. Tom, Senator Bennet really joining a growing chorus of Democratic lawmakers sounding the alarm here.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning, Brooke. Look, there's still no true consensus among Democrats over what the best path forward is. On one hand, you have some Democrats saying that they are sticking with President Joe Biden and he is the best candidate for the party come the November election. On the other hand, though, you have some Democrats saying that they feel stuck with him as the candidate. And there might be better people out there to represent the Democrats in the 2024 race against former President Joe Biden. The vast majority of the opinions we've heard, at least publicly, is in support of President Joe Biden or simply staying quiet on the matter entirely. But several lawmakers are voicing their concerns over Biden's re-election chances.
If this is vindication, it's never felt so unfulfilling. The president understands the consequences. I think he'll make the right decision.
Now, Phillips and Colorado Senator Michael Bennet are in the minority, according to the lawmakers we spoke to on Tuesday.
As I've said before, I'm with Joe.
Joe Biden's our candidate for president. I'm really worried about what's going to happen in November. And I don't want to elect a man who calls veterans who die in service losers.
Now, again, this is still very much an evolving issue we're seeing on Capitol Hill. And later today, Brooke, we might see even more opinions either for or against President Joe Biden. Brooke?
But, Tom, should Democrats be worried as there's some new polling out there this morning? It shows former President Trump starting to pull away.
Yeah, that's right. And look, these polls are going to be very key to watch in the days and weeks ahead because those opinions about President Joe Biden's re-election chances could hinge on what these polls are showing. One in particular that we are watching is the Cook Political Report, which is now predicting that former President Donald Trump holds a big advantage in some of the battleground states that we are watching, states like Nevada, Georgia, and Arizona, all states that President Joe Biden won back in 2020. So let's take a closer look at some of these numbers these morning. These polls, like I said, going to be very key to watch. This all comes as a New York Times analysis of recent polling shows that if the election were held today, President Trump would win with 312 electoral college votes, taking nearly every swing state with him along the way. And while Cook still lists Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin as toss-ups, President Trump currently leads in most polls, in those in all three states, as in 2020, when President Biden won all three of those states. So those states likely to be very critical. Like I said, battleground states here that are not bringing good news for President Joe Biden's campaign, Brooke.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.